Well, the Republican frontrunner was dealing with more than just the fight over vets today. He was also defending his attack on a federal judge. U.S. District Court Judge Gonzalo Curiel is presiding over the lawsuit against Trump University, a now-defunct real estate seminar set up by the candidate about a decade ago. During a campaign speech Friday, Trump spent more than 10 minutes hammering this judge, and here is just a bit of those remarks.
I have a judge who is a hater of Donald Trump, a hater. He's a hater. His name is Gonzalo Curiel. And he is not doing the right thing. And I figure, what the hell? Why not talk about it for 2 minutes? The judge was appointed by Barack Obama, federal judge. I mean, frankly, he should recuse himself. The judge, who happens to be, we believe, Mexican, which is great, I think that's fine, they ought to look into Judge Curiel, because what Judge Curiel is doing is a total disgrace, okay? But we'll come back in November. Wouldn't that be wild if I'm president and I come back to do a civil case?
Trace Gallagher has more. Trace?
Megyn, these 381 pages of documents related to Trump University that were unsealed and made public by a San Diego federal judge are essentially playbooks that detail exactly how Trump University was run. Everything from convincing prospective students to pay up to $35,000 to enroll, to teaching them how to use tax breaks and financial shelters to maximize profits. The school's real estate training was said to be blessed by Donald Trump himself. In fact, Trump claimed he personally chose the instructors, but later in a deposition admitted that he didn't pick them, in fact, didn't even know their names. Trump and the now defunct school are being sued by a number of students who claim they were defrauded. But as you heard in his epic 12-minute tirade, Trump believes Judge Gonzalo Curiel is giving him a raw deal. And the Trump campaign is now actively supporting the claim of judicial bias. Watch.
I think what's really interesting about this particular judge, as Mr. Trump refers to him as a Trump hater, is he even mentions on his judicial questionnaire that he was a La Raza Lawyers Association member. This is an organization that has been out there organizing these anti-Trump protesters with the Mexican flags. They are pushing it.
Judge Curiel has not responded to Mr. Trump's tirade, but did release a statement saying the defense had not met the bar to keep the documents out of the public eye, saying, quoting, "The defendant became the frontrunner for the Republican nomination in the 2016 presidential race and has placed the integrity of these court proceedings at issue. The trial date is scheduled for November 28th, and Trump's lawyers say the GOP nominee will testify. Of course, by then he could be the president-elect." Megyn.
All right, Trace, thank you. And there's an important clarification on what you just heard there about Katrina Pearson's allegation against this judge. I'm going to get to it with my panel. Joining me now, Trump supporter and attorney David Wohl, and Ben Shapiro, former Breitbart News editor-at-large and editor-in-chief now at dailywire.com. Good to see you both. So that allegation by Katrina Pearson is wrong, and I just want to correct the record. La Raza Lawyers Association is completely different from the group that's organizing the anti-Trump protest, which is National Council on La Raza. They are not affiliated, and they are not the same. That was an error by Katrina. Having said that, I'll ask you, Ben, about the appropriateness of going after a sitting federal court judge and mentioning the fact that, quote, he is Mexican, also wrong. He is American. He is not Mexican.
No, he was born in Indiana, but this is typical Trump. Again, it's not a surprise that Trump is going after people he feels victimize him. This is sort of what he does. But to go after the judge on the basis of his ethnicity is a little bit bizarre, given the fact, again, that his ethnicity really has nothing to do with the case. And it demonstrates, once again, that for Trump, who has plenty of grounds to go after this judge, by the way, the fact that he's an Obama appointee, as you heard mentioned by Trump, the fact that he has relations with groups that Trump finds unpleasant, all those are fine. But to go after his ethnicity just demonstrates that for Trump, there's some sort of bizarre connection between the ethnicity of the person and the ideology the person must hold. I don't know why him being a Mexican would even be relevant to the conversation, especially when he's not from Mexico and his parents are Mexican.
David, why would it be?
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think it's a non sequitur, Megyn. Trump
Why does he keep mentioning it over and over when he rips on this judge?
Yeah, I think his ethnicity is Hispanic. He's from Indiana. Non sequitur, Megyn. The issue of him going after this judge, though, I got to say, you know, how is this any different than Barack Obama in 2010 at the State of the Union when he excoriated Supreme Court justices who were sitting right in front of him about the Citizens United case, Megyn.
Out of line,
he
wasn't it?
intimidated them. He bullied them right in front of him. And you know what, Megyn? After that incident,
so are you justify bad behavior by pointing to other bad behavior?
Well, Megyn, I'm just saying. And you know what? Bill Burton, by the way, who was Obama's press secretary at the time, you got to listen to this. He said, I'm quoting, "One of the great things about our democracy is that powerful members of government at high levels can disagree in public and in private, and this is one of those instances."
Wow.
This is all it is, Megyn. He's got the First Amendment right. He does have issues, as Ben has pointed out. And it's frustrating him because I've reviewed this case. It should have been dismissed a long time ago on a summary judgment motion, no question about it.
No, I mean, Ben is not a lawyer. David and I are lawyers. I completely disagree with you on that. And the Court of Appeals.
Actually, I am a lawyer.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ben, I didn't know that. And the Court of Appeals actually upheld this. It wasn't all this judge. Listen, you can say that there's no merits to the case and Trump will get his day in court, but to go after the judge as a, quote, Mexican and hater takes it to a different level, Ben.
Well, absolutely. And the fact that Trump defenders have to rely on Barack Obama was a bad guy, therefore if our guy does the exact same thing, it's just doubly as awesome. It's typical of the Trump campaign. I mean, why is it, okay, so you tell me, David, why is it better that Trump did it now that Barack Obama did it? I thought we were running against Barack Obama if we're on the right. I thought the idea was Obama's a bad guy.
The point is, you know what he said immediately after that? He said, "I love the Mexican people. I've got millions of Mexican supporters." He clarified it immediately, so you don't take it out of context. The majority, Megyn, the substance of his criticism of this judge.
I mentioned it because I want to take this opportunity to express my love for the Mexicans. Come on.
Well, Megyn, you know what? Sometimes you have a slip of the tongue, and I submit to you.
He does it
that's
repeatedly.
All it was.
That's the thing that's so crazy about it, David. I don't know why he's doing this. Nobody, listen. Nobody give Trump a hard time if he said, "I don't like this judge. I don't think he's been fair to me. I'm going to get my day in court. I'm going to win this case." Great, go for it. That's fine. That's
right.
No, it isn't. That what we're debating here is his taking it a step further, personalizing it, going after the guy's ethnicity, and he does it every time.
You know something, Megyn? He is a member. Maybe he misconstrued that membership in the La Raza Lawyers Association. I don't know. There are a lot of people that have gone after him because of his border policy. I don't know whether he felt this judge should recuse himself because of those issues.
That's what he's saying now. He doesn't need to recuse himself. There is no basis for the judge to recuse him. This is what he does. He creates he creates a bias where none exists and then demands that the person be removed. That is not the case with this judge.
Right after Mr. Trump complained last week about the judge releases the documents immediately right thereafter. Now, I submit to you, does that create an appearance of impropriety? It may well do so. And if he doesn't recuse himself, it may be up to Mr. Trump's lawyers to file the motion for recusal with a different judge.
Amazing.
I've done that many times under these circumstances. You don't know.
So basically, you insult the judge, and then when the judge does something that he's perfectly allowed to do under the law, and there's a motion before the court in order to release these documents, then you say he has to recuse himself. So you create the issue.
You don't find
and the only way to resolve the issue is
for
the judge
let Ben finish.
Hold on. So you create the issue, and then the only solution is for Trump to get what he wants. And by the way, this is the whole slip of the tongue nonsense. When your tongue keeps slipping in the same direction, at a certain point, you sort of have to figure that there's a little bit of intentionality to it. The guy's tongue is a slip and slide. He doesn't just slip every so often.
Okay, I leave you at home with that mental image. Great debate, guys. Thanks for being here.
Megyn.